All right, welcome to another episode of Minneapolis by Night. This is the vampire venue. Specifically, this is an interview Midian set up with the owner and CEO of Dragon Kings and Technologies, who is David Fields. He's looking for people to staff his new location as soon as it is finally finished being built, both in the factory and in the corporate office. The meeting is taking place at the Ritz-Carlton. It's in Ballroom 3, which has been reserved for the entire time he's here. Yeah, he spent lots of money.
Deep pockets.
Oh, yeah, he's got very deep pockets. That never seem to end. His resources are ridiculous. But yeah, so... since obviously Midian cannot exactly be walking around during the day, neither can David.
Yes.
The meeting was set up for at night, which is fine because he set up the ballroom to be available 24/7. As soon as Midian gets there, he is directed by someone in a security uniform. You see it says Dragon King Security. He walks you directly to Ballroom 3. Inside the ballroom, I mean, it's a huge area. There's, a bunch of little kind of displays set up. He probably does, has his other people do something during the day to, just attract attention and whatnot. He walks you by all these little booths and stuff. You see some cool tech gadgets and all kinds of other stuff. And he walks you to a table that, it's just a table. You can see that, it's just a table with two chairs, one on either side. He goes, "Have a seat. Mr. Fields will be right with you."
Well, then he'll nod and take a seat.
Okay. Short time later, you see this gentleman come out. He's holding a folder in his hand. He walks over, holds out his hand. "David Fields."
Xander, otherwise known as Midian Thorn, puts a hand across the table to shake his back.
He just kind of smiles at you. "I see a fellow clanmate, too." He just smiles. Kind of taps his head.
Midian nods. I guess my reputation is with me.
No, the Madness Network keeps me informed.
Oh, yes.
I've been able to focus it a little better.
Yes, that makes sense. Thank you for the acknowledgement.
No. So, I'm going to leave it at this. Obviously, I know you're kindred, so that will save a lot of time on all the bullshit. He opens a folder. He's looking at it. He's looking at you. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I was born actually over there in the Czech Republic about 34 years ago. I guess had a real large, sprawling estate. I've been all over the nation being educated. I've been in a lot of the best Ivy League colleges there are. I actually just came from MIT in order to get a computer science program under my belt. I got an honorary degree. I could prove that I knew my stuff, so I didn't have to go through the whole process.
Okay. So, why should I hire you?
Well, frankly, I live right down the street. I'm probably the most dependable person to apply to this position. I've got an IQ of 180, probably one of the smartest men on your team. I've also got some HTML, Flash, C++, other kinds of backdoor programming, network administration under my belt. Also security.
Okay. If I were to hire you, what would you want to do in the company?
I would probably be doing the graphical stuff, whatever you need for website development, um, any of the graphical stuff within that realm. I can probably do. The security and all of that is kind of secondary to my artistic skills.
Okay. Well, right now, the head office and our factory are not finished yet. I have companies currently working on getting it at least somewhat organized, so that way we can at least start some things. Right now, my business is fully based out of DC.
Okay.
A random splurge of wanting to expand hit me, so I started here.
Okay.
Are you able to get security clearance?
Huh?
Get security clearance. It's
Yeah.
required. We work with the DoD on a constant basis.
Yes. Yes.
All right, good. He kind of flips some pages. He just kind of looks at you. So you're
Midian's.
into biological work too, huh?
Yes, that too.
Well, we could definitely use someone of your skills.
Yes, I was given some special permissions. I shouldn't be able to do what I'm capable of, but here I am.
We all end up with one thing or another.
Yes. I just hope the Tremere don't want my head on a pike for it.
We have to go through the clan first.
Yeah.
We protect our own. All right.
Well,
Well, I'll tell you what. As of right now, unfortunately, like I said, our corporate office isn't exactly built. It's actually going to be the first thing built between the two. I have companies working on both locations that I've since made, and they are currently busting their butt to get it done. Corporate office should be open within the next week or so,
uh-huh.
and then I want to get you started. We'll start you off at the bottom. Let's see how you do. Um, we'll give you a couple of various skill tests to see if. Actually, I'll do the skill test first to see where you land on our scale, and then I'll be
Okay.
able to determine your position from there. Um,
Yeah.
he pulls out some paperwork, hands it to you. This is the standard tax information. You fill everything out. We are a legal company. We do not do anything illegal.
Okay, I understand.
So if you have another name you go by, um, for purposes of our longevity in life, I would recommend using that alternate nickname. That is what you'll be called in the company, and that is what you'll be listed as. Since
Well,
you said you're kind of fresh to being one of us, correct?
yes.
Okay, so then you have a little leeway, but I would recommend later on that you try and invest, if you need numbers to get a hold of certain individuals that can get you the right secondary identities. I can get that for you.
I
Um,
understand.
but yeah, eventually you will need to have one. I do recommend having one set up just to be on the safe side. Don't make it too out of this world because that tends to draw attention and unneeded.
What if I want to be Buck Rogers?
He just shakes his head. All right. Well,
Hold on, I think my dog. Someone at the door. Just a second. My dog is barking. Oh, don't mind. My wife is taking care of that. I'm back.
okay.
All right, where were we?
Once you fill out the information, just come back, turn it into one of my people. They'll begin the paperwork process and get all that bullshit going on. As I said, within the next week or so, I'm hoping to have at least part of the corporate office open.
Cool.
Yeah,
That
the
would be
construction crew I
fantastic.
have works pretty fast. They don't waste time. They tend to work day and night. They have a bunch of shifts they use. But then again, the amount I'm paying them, I'm not surprised that they're busting their butt.
Money talks.
Ooh, quite a bit. We will contact you once the office is open. You will be required to show up. Um, you'll be on a probationary period to start with. It's a typical 90-day probation. Um, if you don't screw up during that time, you know, then we can see from there. But as I said, really the next step of this is after you finish your paperwork, we have to get your skill set figured out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of a generalist, as far as computers go. You just kind of point me in a direction and say go. And I can kind of fill in the gaps with my intellect. But anyway, I should say thank you for the interview. This seems like the stopping point, so I'll take this paperwork and get it filled out as soon as possible. I really appreciate the opportunity.
No problem. He stands up, he shakes your hand, and he walks off. And with
Stand
that,
back.
thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned.